Mission's over. You can stand down now, Bon.
Good. I've been shot here some time.
Ooh, your gun.
I blame it on my shelf. Hello, welcome to Sally Antiques and this week's YouTube episode. We talk about the interesting and unusual things that pass through our hands on a week-to-week basis. Today we're going to talk about some interesting guns. We've got a couple of Lugers here. We've got an artillery Luger from 1916, First World War artillery Luger, and we also have a Second World War P08 1943 Army Luger. Now we're going to talk about deactivations and the standards as they progress through the years, and Raz is going to talk us through the Lugers to start off with, and then we're going to come on to the other ones.
Hello. It's very interesting that we actually have two examples deactivated in different manners. This one is deactivated pre-2016, so what we can consider an old spec today, and this is deactivated in 2017, so it's very close to the latest 2019 deactivation procedure. We will go through them both. I'll show you the differences and we'll see how much they can be stripped down and what bits have been blocked or cut or welded. But let's start with the old one first, because I think that's the natural order of things. So this is a 2013 deactivated Luger P08, an artillery model. Quite nice, produced by DWM in 1916. I'll show you how this particular gun has been deactivated. This is the old spec. Remember that you can own a gun which is old spec if you purchased it previous to 2016, but if you want to sell it or to give it away, you have to decommission it to the current spec. So the first thing we'll do will be to remove the magazine, which in our case is a very interesting example, because it's one of the early ones with the wooden bit at the end. You'll notice that on this example we have no pin or anything like that to block the magazine hose, so the magazine hose is free, and the magazine is also in its original shape. Also, when we cock the gun, we will see that there are some cuts done into the action, and also the barrel has been partially cut. We have a slot cut in it, we have a pin and a plug placed down the barrel. Also, if you look, the firing pin and half of the action has been removed. The nice thing about this old example is that it locks when you cock it, and in order to, is exactly like the original piece would have done in the field. When you were out of rounds, it would remain open, and to get it back you have to extract the magazine, put it back, and then you can dry fire. It's very interesting, the fact that you can dry fire with it. Also, this particular piece can be stripped. You'll see in a minute how this is done. You can pull it apart. You can see the action here. I hope the camera can see this. These are the cuts that have been done in such a way that no round can be fed through the action. Also, if you notice, there's the cut done through the barrel, and also if you pull the action back, you can see this is where the firing pin was. This has been welded, it's cut in an angle and welded as well. And I'll try with a flashlight to show you better how this looks like. I hope the camera is focusing. We have a weld here done at the top or end of the barrel. Also, if you can see this, we have a bit of the rifling, but most of it is been removed, and we have the plug placed in. And that's pretty much it. Well, more bits can be actually removed. I'll show you in a second. So you can remove this pin here, and that will actually take out the entire assembly. See? You can see it better. It is, you can't reuse this, so that's the way it is done. Right, we will move to the next example, so you'll be able to see how more modern 2017 deactivation has been done to a similar gun. The only difference between the two is the length of the barrel, but that's pretty much it. This is the second example. This is the Luger P08, deactivated in 2017. This is a Second World War piece made in 1943 by DWM. I'll show you the differences between this one and the other one in a second. The most important thing is that you can't strip it down anymore, because we have a pin here inserted into the stripping lever, so that will not come down anymore, so you can't actually take the slide off. Also, a major difference will be that you can't have the breech open. The receiver will go back due to the fact that a pin has been inserted into the magazine hose, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. If you see the magazine has two slots cut on each side, so they'll be the magazine will be hosted in. If you can see here, I'll try with the flashlight to show you. I don't know if the camera can see it. If not, we'll put a picture with it. We have a pin into the magazine host. This is placed there in such a way that you will not be able to get rounds fitted into the action. That magazine, this magazine is the only one that can be inserted. If you have a spare one, you have to cut slots into it to get it in. Also, you'll see here on the action that we have a pin placed into the barrel. The barrel has been partially cut. We have a weld there as well. We have a cut done into the feeding system, and also the receiver and the firing pin have been cut in a 45-degree angle, and they've been welded as well. Right, this is it with this example, and we will move forward for a few more guns.
Well, thank you, Raz. That was really interesting. We're going to move on to the other two pistols we have here, bringing us more up to date. We've got the Walther PPK, which was James Bond's favourite weapon, and then bringing it more up to date, we're going to go with the Glock 19, very popular with all police forces and military forces, one of probably the most popular handguns in the world of its time and still used today. Both have similar actions. So, Raz, can you tell us a bit more about these?
Happy to do so. Yes, the Walther PPK is deactivated in 2016. Glock here is deactivated in 2019. So we will be able to see the differences, which, to your surprise, will not be huge. But let's start with the tiny Walther PPK, because that is the one which has been deactivated first. This is Walther PPK, the one that Ross was telling about, the gun of James Bond. It was actually, this particular model has been used by the German police. We have a stamp here. This particular piece has been deactivated in 2016, and I'll show you how it looks like. This is a specific, this particular type of deactivation is specific to all the derivatives of this Walther, so any kind of guns made by the former Soviet bloc as well, which copied the design. First thing first, you are familiar with the way in which this one strips. You have to actually pull the trigger guard down. As you can see, we have a pin here that will deny us this particular thing, so we will not be able to pull that down and strip the slide. Like all the other examples, you will be able to pull the action back, dry fire with it. The double action still works, which is quite interesting and quite nice. Also, it will not lock back, and you can see, as we're here, you can see that the barrel has been cut, plugged, and partially welded. So the barrel is unusable. I'll go back to my flashlight and show you the end of the barrel, the end of the muzzle. You have a bit of rifling there, probably about a centimeter, but that's pretty much it. Also, like in the previous example with the Luger P08, we have the same slots cut into the magazine, so rounds will not be able to go up into the chamber, and we have the same pin. Again, if we will not be able to see it on the camera now, we'll insert a picture with it. We have the same slot down there. We have the pin into the magazine house. The safety still works, I think. Let's see. Yes, it does. But that's pretty much it. So if you want to insert a spare magazine, you will have to have that cut as well to actually match your pin. Obviously, all of them are random. Some of the pins were inserted higher, some were inserted lower. So you have to cut your magazine accordingly to your gun's specifications. Also, like in all the other examples, we have the barrel being blocked. We have a cut into the magazine host feed, so you won't be able to feed rounds in, and the receiver has been cut on the 45-degree angle along with the firing pin, and they've been welded. The extractor is still here, which is quite nice, but that's pretty much it. And we will move to the next example, to the Glock. So this is the Glock 19. It's a piece which has been deactivated in 2019, so this is the current EU UK spec. I will start by showing you what has been done to the stripping button. As you can see here on the camera, we have a bit of plastic which has been welded in on both parts, because in order to actually take the slide off, you have to push this tiny metal bit downwards. Like the guns presented before, you'll see that this slides back. You will be able to put the slide back, but you will not be able to dry fire. This has been completely taken off, this dry fire sequence. What you can do though is to lock the slide backwards. You can see here that we have cuts done on the receiver end, the firing pin. Also, I'll take my handy flashlight from here and I'll show you what has been done to the barrel. As you can see, the barrel has been cut on the side. On the side we have a slot here on the left hand side, and we have a hole which is pretty much 2 centimeters might be. We can't see it due to the fact that we can't take the slide out. We also have a pin which has been inserted vertically into the barrel. The interesting thing and nice thing about this is that the barrel hasn't been completely blocked. We still have a good chunk of it which is free. We can see through it, and that is quite cool. Also, the fact that again you can block the action back, the slide back, makes it very interesting. Regarding the magazine, we have the same thing like on the other guns. We have these two slots which have been cut here, so the magazine can be inserted. Again, oops, the flashlight is funny. We have the pin inserted across, and if you have a spare magazine, you definitely need to do the two cuts to insert it in. But I think this is better done than the other ones. Makes it a bit more authentic, leaves more of the authenticity on it. Again, you can't dry fire, but it's still not bad deactivation. It's a cool looking thing, highly collectible. So if you want to get yourself one, please contact us.
Thank you, Raz.
My pleasure.
Very interesting. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and all our other social medias. These items are available on the website, sallyantiques.co.uk. We are looking for another Luger, a Kriegsmarine one, which fits between these two. So if you've got one and you want to do a trade or sale or whatever, we buy and sell these things all the time. So it would be good to hear from you. In the next episode, interestingly enough, we're going to pit the MG34, Second World War German machine gun against the English Bren gun, which was the light machine gun used by the British forces in the Second World War. And that's going to be a very interesting episode because it'll be me versus Raz. So look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.
Goodbye.